Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here, coming at you from the Knife Center, and we've got a bonus episode of the coolest new knives that have just hit our shelves because it's that time of year and there's just so much stuff to get through. So, let's get into it. So Christmas is right around the corner. Actually, it feels like the year has flown by, but
months are corners now.
Months are corners now. And Thomas is back. Say, welcome back, Thomas.
Well, Bertie tells me y'all had trouble with this newfangled electricity last week.
I told him to get it out of his system earlier. Apparently he did not.
I saved up.
He's gloating over our technical difficulties we had last week while he was on vacation. I hope you enjoyed your vacation. Now let's get back to work.
I am at work.
All right. So yeah, Christmas is right around the corner, unbelievably, which means the season of gifting is kicking off. So invariably what happens is a bunch of, if not all the manufacturers are pushing to have a lot of their new releases in time for the holidays, which means we got a ton of stuff to get through. So here we go. I'm going to start with a few items that are going to be very giftable this time of year. The first is this. This is not a Zippo lighter, although it may look like one. This is not the bit insert you've seen before either. So a little backstory. Zippo a little bit ago came out with something that looked just like this. It fit in a standard Zippo lighter case. It's a magnetic bit holder with 4 bits included, standard 1/4-inch bits. So if you don't like the ones included, hey, that's fine. Pop whichever one you like in there. Now, the insert is USA made. You can still get the previous imported version. It's about $15 and some change, but you will need to have a lighter case to stick it into. Well, now you can get it with the lighter case. US made insert and the US made lighter case.
Backwards.
They know what I'm talking about.
No, it's backwards.
Oh, yes, it is. Thank you. Apologies all around.
Looking out for you, comment section.
All right. 3 versions right now. There's a satin and a brushed silver, and this red version is limited edition. The silver versions are standard. So if you like the red, which is candy apple red, get it now. Still makes that satisfying Zippo clicky sounds. And yeah, there you go. If you want the insert on its own, as mentioned, the imported version is what is available. They don't have the US made version as a standalone item just yet. But about $30 and some change for the satin and brushed, $31 and some change for the red. Awesome giftable item. Fits really nicely in the 5th pocket on a pair of blue jeans as well. Real cool way to have some extra bits and a screwdrivable unit along for the ride. Next up, the Flex Companion from Roxon. We've got a couple new colors. Even if you don't go with these colors, this I think is a great gift item this time of year. Anyway, we've got neon green, 2 variations, including that color going on here. Why is this a great giftable item? 1, it's $50. So the price point is pretty affordable. 2, it's a great way to get non-knife people into the knife hobby. It's a multi-tool that is modular. So it comes with several implements. You've got a main blade, a flathead / file / depth gauge, a reamer / awl, a wood saw, a nice pair of scissors, and on the backside, a 1/4-inch bit driver. It comes with a number 2 Phillips right there. All cool stuff. The bit driver itself is fixed, but the rest of these items can be swapped out really, really quickly, which is very cool indeed. And at this $50 price point, this also includes 2 extra implements, a comb, and this little caddy right here that has a ballpoint pen, a pin, and a set of tweezers. And you could swap out the saw, or take the saw, the blade, and the awl out, which then removes all the quote-unquote blades out of this. So you can set this up for bladeless carry. Real quickly, take the blade out, pop whatever other implement in that you wish. Come on, there we go. Super easy, super simple, happens very fast. And there are a ton of implements individually available. You can buy them single pieces from us here at the Knife Center. So as they get into it and think, man, I wish it had this, they'll be able to get it. Awesome little units. These two versions also include an update for the standard size companion, a toothpick and a tweezer built into the scale itself. Previous versions didn't have that. So even if you aren't using the extra module here, you do have a set of tweezers. If you are, you have 2 tweezers with you. I think it's just an artifact of, that's the fact that was the item that was included before they included it in the scales.
Tweezer duel.
Or dueling tweezers. Or dual wielding tweezers.
Dual wield your tweezers during a tweezer duel.
For the hirsute individual. Awesome unit. Just lots of fun. Secondary safety too, you can lock it in the closed or open position to keep anything from flopping out if you don't want it to flop out. $50. Next up, slightly more premium price point, but a very reasonable price point for what you're getting. And that is a new batch of the Joy of Cooking kitchen knives, collaboration between Ethan Becker of Becker Knife and Tool fame, but also Joy of Cooking author, 3rd generation author. Collaboration with him and Dan Eastland of Dogwood Custom Knives. This is the Santoku style Joy of Cooking knife. And it is fantastic. I acquired one of these, bought it a little bit over a year ago when I picked mine up. And while in my kitchen I enjoy a variety of different chef and Santoku-ish style knives that I like to use because I'm a knife guy and I like variety and like to enjoy all the finer things. If I had to have just one 8-inch chef or Santoku style knife in my kitchen, it would be the Joy of Cooking kitchen knife. It covers all the bases so well, and the price is really good. For the same price as a Wusthof Icon, German-made, simple stainless steel, $200. You can get this US-made S35 VN blade, G10 handles with no visible pins. It's internal pins and epoxied handles, so it's very easy to keep clean. Same price, $200. Comes with a blade safe cover as well. Several versions on the website right now. We have a food safe Cerakote option with a few different handle colors, and we have a laser etched faux Damascus style of thing. This is still S35 VN. It just has, you know, the fancy graphics laser engraved onto it. Take your pick. You can't go wrong. The balance on them is fantastic. The rocking motion on a cutting board, it lands oh so nicely. You know, Ethan and Dan Ethan obviously is a big food guy, you know, with his association with the cookbook. Dan is a fantastic cook as well and makes some of the best custom kitchen knives out there. This gets you both of their design sensibilities at a really nice price. Great for you or the special someone in your life. Check it out. Next up, Kershaw. We've got some new variations of some of their classics. They do spring-assisted and automatic knives extremely well. And so we've got some to show you here. The Leek, fantastic everyday carry knife with a 1776 flag graphic pattern here, coming in about $80. Standard steel for this model, 14C28 and Sandvik. You've got the liner lock, the assisted opening, the Wharncliffe style blade to it. Just a great everyday carry. And the Launch 4 and Launch 1 also showing up with the stars and stripes in this case. CPM 154 steel on both of these, which is not the same as 154 CM. It is a powder metal steel. And the price on these, 110 for the Launch 4, 140 for the Launch 1. And the Launch 1 is still one of my all-time favorite Launch series knives. The blade, 3.4 inches long, great shape, it's distinctive, it's slicey, it's versatile. You've got a great feel in the hand with the aluminum chassis. The printing on here gives it a little bit of texture, which I find quite appealing too. If your tastes run a little smaller, or if you're planning on giving this to someone who you think might not appreciate the big old knife, 3.4 inch blade, it's not big old, but you know, it's not a small knife. The 1.9 inch Launch 4 is also a heck of a lot of fun. And the action on the Launch knives has always been very good too. Can't go wrong with any of these. I'm not gonna go too much more in depth in them in that case. All right, let's get into some more premium knives. You got a gift for someone really special, or maybe a gift for yourself, you know. The ZT350. long-running classic model. This may look at first glance the same as versions that have been out already, but if you look a little closely right here, we've got a tritium insert in the front G10 scale on this tiger stripe version and the black coated version. Regular price on this is about $230 and change. Right now it's actually on sale for just under $200, so it's a good chance to pick one of these up. If you don't like the tritium, the standard version is still available, but this version also comes with an extra scale, or front side scale without the tritium insert in. So swap them out, see what you like better. But that's pretty fun. 3¼ inch blade, S30V steel, broad drop point blade with a recurve. Lot of cutting power into this, or in this knife. Thick liners, providing the liner lock right there. Strength in the lockup as well as girth in the hand when you add the G10 on to the sides of that. The height of the handle itself works in concert with that thickness to give a very, very secure feeling grip and that kind of tank-like quality that ZTs have kind of always been known for, with some exceptions. They've got some very finely machined thin things coming out recently, but this is kind of like classic ZT right here. The action on these knives is assisted. Snap. Very, very nice. Repeatable action all day, every day, thanks to the torsion bar spring assist mechanism going on. It's a classic for a reason. And there's a reason that, even though they've updated the lineup since this knife has come out, that they can't seem to discontinue this knife because it's still really good. Now, some new flavors to take a look at. We've also got, there are two non-locking Yens Anso designs. This is the 230. We've also got the 235 with the kind of hybrid blade shape as opposed to the sheep's foot here. That version still carries the same steel as the standard version. This sheep's foot blade 230 BLKG10 has MagnaCut blade steel. So in addition to high toughness and high edge retention, it's also a stainless steel. Most high toughness, high edge retention steels aren't so stainless. So that's very cool. On sale right now for about $140 too. Regular price on this is standardly sitting at about the $160 mark. 2.6 inch blade, full flat grind, MagnaCut steel with a stonewashed finish. The handles are G10 black with a blue aluminum backspacer, kind of simplifying it from some of the fancier versions that have existed prior to this. Very deep carry pocket clip, giving you clearance beyond the end of the handle right there, and it is reversible for left or right carry. And that means that this is a great option for just about anyone, provided you don't want a locking blade, of course. It's using the detent joint style of mechanism, which means it's not as kind of taut as an old school slip joint with the leaf spring on the back. That can be a good or bad thing depending on what kind of action and or resistance towards closing you're looking at. You get better action with the detent joint, but it doesn't have as much resistance on the close. So you can check it out. There you go. Bunch of cool US made stuff and some more to take a look at, in fact. A new crossbar locking knife from Toor. This is the Draper right here, coming in $325. For that, you get your choice of G10 handles that are very smoothly polished. It's not just the finish right off the raw sheet. They've given some extra finishing time to give it an almost silky feel in the hand, which is quite nice. Like the ZT we looked at, the first ZT we looked at, it's got a little bit of thickness to the handle there, giving it, it's not a dainty feeling knife. It feels strong. You've got a fold over pocket clip, not super deep carry because you got a fair bit sticking out here at the back. This being, sort of a tactically focused design that is going to ensure you have enough to grab onto when you're reaching into your pocket to go for it. And the clip is reversible. So the whole knife is a great option for righties or lefties because, of course, that crossbar lock, which needs a little bit of breaking in on this one, is fully ambidextrous. And we've got washers in the pivot here instead of ball bearings to get that more buttery feel rather than like the glass-like feel of ball bearings, what those provide you. 3.5 inch MagnaCut blade. The tip sits very high along the or above the center line, giving you a little more kind of slicing aplomb. It's not the word I wanted to use, but it's the word that came to mind anyway. Really nice when slicing down through things right there. A little bit more tricky to bring the tip to bear if you're using it in a sort of thrusting situation. So there are plenty of other options though, if that is what you're looking for. The feel is very good. Yeah, needs a little bit of breaking in, like I said, on the action of the crossbar lock right there. But I don't foresee that being an issue longer term for sure. Black handle also available. Next up, we have a couple of limited release ProTech knives. One, the Malibu, with the modified Wharncliffe shape, and I'm really glad, like, it seems for a while, like, all we saw was a bunch of the reverse Tonto blade shapes.
Those are good days.
And nothing against that particular blade, even if, you know, Thomas and I joke about how I don't like the name reverse Tonto. I always liked the Wharncliffe shape, and I didn't feel like we saw as many of them. We're seeing some more of them lately, so I like that. Anyway, this version right here, $320. Flat dark earth for the handles with the dragon scale texture on the front and the back, which is quite nice. Black stone-washed with an L, stone-washed Magna Cut blade here as well, 3.3 inches. Deep carry pocket clip, right side, tip up only, nice and nestled into the frame with flush head screws, very nice. And there's a little smooth patch underneath the pinch point of the clip itself. So the dragon scale texture is not gonna get in the way of impeding the extraction or snagging on your pants. And we have black lip mother of pearl button lock insert, which is always nice. And of course you've got the action that made this knife famous. The Malibu kickstarted the modern button lock flipper trend without a doubt. And I say this every time, it almost gets boring to say, but it still is setting the standard of like the best button lock flipping actions on the market at any price. Fantastic everyday carry knife. Next up from ProTech, a limited edition version of the Vero collaboration Synapse from Vero Engineering, of course. $325 for this, almost a 3.5 inch Magna Cut blade, blue linen micarta for the front, which I like that. It's subtle, it's not shouty, but it does give you a little bit something more or less ordinary than, you know, another black handled knife. This does too, because you got the tritium, of course. But anyway, yeah, very cool drop point blade shape here. You've got on the back the milled cutout that might help act as an opening mechanism for the blade itself if this weren't an automatic. This, of course, is an automatic. So you're going to be opening it with the white mother of pearl button inlay right there. Real nice. Feels good in the hand, distinctive styling while still being, as I say about some of my favorite drop point designs, generically useful. Very cool. Very awesome knife. How about some special edition Microtechs while we're at it? Thomas. Excluding inflation, this is more expensive than what you... This is more dollars right now than the actual dollars you paid for your truck.
That's not unusual on this channel.
No, I know, but like it's always fun to call out.
Yes.
This is a version of the MSI. This is a Marfione Select for $1,365. What does it have for that kind of money? Well, obviously you see the copper handles here, stone-washed copper with a frag pattern on it. The blade itself is a Baker Forge Damascus copper mine, so it has layers of copper in the blade itself as well. Not along the cutting edge. You know, you're still getting a steel that cuts at the edge itself, but copper throughout is very cool.
And like my truck, it'll patina.
Will, your truck already is patinaed. Yours arrived patinaed.
Didn't have to break it in.
There you go. The MSI is so cool, man. You've got the ram lock here. You operate it just like a crossbar lock, but instead of a crossbar, you've got this big wedge of steel being pushed forward by a coil spring instead of a bar being pushed forward by the leaf springs. So it's kind of a cross between a crossbar lock and Spyderco's ball bearing lock. Doesn't matter, it's cool. It's ambidextrous. You got an ambidextrous clip. You've got a chunky feel with this copper construction. You've got extra weight in the handle because of it. it's cool. What if you don't want to spend that much money, you say? Well, you can spend as little as about, well, let me make sure. I have a number in my head. Let me see if that's actually true. Hey, you can spend right around $180 for the least expensive versions. You know, injection molded handles at that price point, of course, but we have in stock right now, at the point we are filming this video, so this can change day to day, we've got 43 different variations in stock of the MSI. So, I know that's a high price on that one, but if you like the design, check out what's available down below. Next up, a Marfione Select version of the Microtech Amphibian right here. Gently blue stone-washed titanium handles, titanium blue backspacer here. Ice blue slab is the color they're calling this handle right here. $553 for this particular one. The blade is about 4 inches long, about 3 7/8, with M390 MK steel, which is essentially the same as M390, but the tolerances in the composition are way tighter than just the standard M390 that's produced. So Microtech worked with Bowler to produce this version of the steel so that they could have highly consistent, repeatable results every time and give you the a consistent level of performance with the steel. Milled titanium pocket clip with reversibility. You've also got the ram lock here. Oh, it feels great. You've got recurve in the blade itself, giving you a little extra sharpened edge in the sharpened length and a little extra cutting power, especially on the pull strokes of your cuts right there. Definitely a bigger knife. Both of these are, large and in charge without being kind of comically oversized, which can be fun too, but that's just not what these are. One more. This is the Stitch, a collaboration with Borka Blades, of course. $489 for this one. They call this the Battle Ready finish. There you go. It's black with some not black upon it as well. 3 5/8 on this kind of arrowhead shaped blade. You've got a skeletal hand here gripping some stuff on the back. Looks like some arrows and a grenade of some sort and a lightning bolt. Very evocative. And this is an automatic, of course. Great automatic action. Microtech is known for their out-the-front automatics primarily, but they do the side openers quite well also. Plain edge available here, combo edges also available in this color, and we might even have a fully serrated option of this as well. Much like the MSI, you don't have to spend that much though to get it. Lowest price on a Stitch right now that we have in stock is just over $300. And how many do we have in stock right now? Let me click the filter. We have 16 in stock, 16 versions in stock. Let's do the same thing for the Amphibian while we're talking about it.
Let's talk amongst yourselves.
Low price on Amphibians. At the point we're filming this, we have a red aluminum in stock for $300. And total number of in-stock variations right now, 19 to choose from. There you go. Moving on. All right, now we have a GiantMouse. This is the GM13 with this wicked hawkbill blade going on. 2.8 inches S90V blade steel, so very high levels of edge retention. Stainless, of course. Titanium handles with some contour and this kind of ovoid shape that helps it nestle into any hand size. It's not a large handle, but it's a handle that's going to just kind of slip comfortably into your grip, whether you have small hands or slightly larger than average, of course, like myself. Crowned spine, giving you a nice detail there. Looks good and feels good under the thumb, of course. Crowned, well, more than that, complex geometry going on with the backspacer right there, which gives you a lanyard attachment point as well. Ambidextrous lock with the crossbar, ambidextrous wire pocket clip, smooth action overall. I lost the hole right there. $385 for this wicked little guy right here. Next up, let's have some more affordable knives to end out the video. The first is new versions of the large Rubik from SRM. The rest of these knives are going to be from SRM. $70 for this version. And it comes with a laminated blade, outer layers, and then a center core layer. This is 140 CR. 140 CR14 MOV3 NB. Ooh, I hope I think that's right. Anyway, SRM describes it as having a comparable characteristics to S35 VN, including a balance of hardness, toughness, and edge retention. And that is that center core layer is a stainless steel. I would assume the outer layers would be stainless as well. In any case, if all that holding true, that's a really good level of performance for a $70 price point for sure. Micarta handles on this and SRM's folded steel frame thing that they've been doing so well for these last few years gives you lighter weight, fewer parts that are screwed together for a very stable platform for the rest of the blade itself, which is a 3.43 inch drop point blade with plenty of belly. This could be a great option for folks who like to spend time outdoors. This could be a cool kind of bushcrafty knife, unless you want a Scandi grind specifically for bushcraft. This doesn't have that, but just a good general purpose drop point blade. For me, for EDC, I usually prefer a little less belly, so you can do more precise things with the tip. But for bigger, broader uses, something like this is going to be quite good. Not too thick, not too thin. Great geometry. Crossbar lock, which is always fun, and SRM's pinch swappable, toolless swappable pocket clip. There it is. You pinch the forks and pull it out, and then you can swap it around to the other side, no problem. Very cool feature, and cool to see them updating the Rubik. The previous versions, I don't remember them having the folded steel frame. They definitely didn't have the pocket clip like that. And of course, the steel is a cool thing too. Next up, for $60, we have the 259L AK Metal, MEDAL. A blade shape that I gotta say clearly looks inspired by the Kershaw Bel Air. Which is
a reversed
modified Warncliffe shape. Length is even similar, 3.18 on this versus 3.1 on that the Bel Air. But whereas the Bel Air has a fairly narrow or thin handle, not crazy thin, but fairly thin, the SRM is giving you a little more girth. You have a little bit of that folded steel frame thing going on here, but just to provide the housing for the crossbar lock and the pivot. Behind that, you've got aluminum handles with nice contour, and in this case, ebony inserts, inlays front and back. Other flavors are, of course, available. Other flavor is, of course, available. Sorry, a green aluminum with a rosewood insert. So you got a little bit of like subtle green and red going on. Feels good in the hand for sure. That contour of the aluminum does wonders for. Oh man, it just feels good. I don't know how else to describe it, man. Fills the hand. It feels silky, refined, just really nice. Again, crossbar lock for ambidextrous use, and that pinchable pocket clip for left or right use, full deep carry. Really, really nice. I mean, the quality of the SRM stuff for the money is definitely amongst the best budget knives out there right now, for sure. And the 105M Air, a lightweight flipper here for $30. Oh, I didn't say the steel on this previous one, did I? 14C28N. Good Sandvik steel right there. It is stainless. It is very tough. Doesn't hold an edge as well as your high edge retention powder metals, but on the budget side, it's more than great. In fact, it is very, very good. This also has 14C28N. Drop point blade of just under 3 inches and $30 for this knife. G10 handles, screw in pocket clip, right side only in this case, inset liner lock, and subtle flipper tab there at the back. Here's what I like about this. It's fairly compact when closed here. Length is about 4 inches, but it gives you a really full-size feeling handle when you open it, because the area around the pivot here is meant to be part of the grip. You've even got the jimping right there, so your index finger knows where it's sitting along that handle length. And look at that. That's really nice. You do have a lot of belly on this knife as well, not as much as the Rubik, and you do have a downward angle to the blade as well. So the tip is going to be a little easier to present accurately. Blade is nice and thin, full flat ground with a crowned spine, all for 30 bucks. I mean, this is, you could do a lot worse at that $30 price point for just a generically, awesomely useful drop point blade. I mean, it's pretty cool. A few different colors are available if you're not into this gray G10 version with the gold pivot collar, but it's speaking to me. There's something nice about that. It doesn't look quite like other things on the market, which is always cool to see. Next up, the Twin 251 MB from SRM, $80 for this. You've got a 3-inch N690 blade, seen as a little bit more premium before at that level, kind of right before you start to make the jump into powder metals. Micarta inlays front and back of the aluminum. Nice contour on these as well, so it feels, again, quite nice nestled into the hand right there. Closed back, or the two sides reach across to meet right there. And a wire pocket clip. Single-sided in this case, which is a bit unfortunate because the crossbar lock is otherwise fully ambidextrous. And opening-wise, you can't see any of the blade, and yet you have more opening options than just the wrist flick. And that is because of the jimping all around the top area of the blade here. You can't see it from the side, I challenge you, yet when the fleshy part of your index finger reaches up there, you're definitely engaging that texture right there, which allows you to then flip it open like a flipper tab. And it's honestly like, I thought it might be awkward at first. You'd have to like think about it, but no, it works. It just works. And that is high praise in this case. Dagger styling, single-edged, however. If you wanted to put a secondary edge on this yourself, it might be a little bit on the thick side for that. Just have a thick topside edge if you want. Next up, an SRM slip joint. This is the Dome non-locking knife. $40 for this. 3-inch 14C28N blade. G10 handles with an alternate G10 inlay, front and back. And a single position tip up pocket clip screwed in. This one's kind of a shame. I wish this one was reversible pocket clip as well. Righties are going to be certainly well served, of course, but hey, sorry lefties. Really nice action on it. It's not super stiff, but it's got a satisfying partial stop on the open and close. A good snap when it's open. Easy to do one-handed in either direction as well, which is quite nice. I like the blade shape here too. It's a drop point with a little bit of hybrid styling going on to it. I dig it. You have an unguarded finger choil here at the front, which can help prevent accidental closures. The edge itself is moving towards that index finger though, so a big oopsie with your finger there is still going to result in some tears shed, I would think. So keep it in mind. You know, it's a non-locking knife, of course. The feel is good. It's not perfectly flat on the G10, so it sits nicely in the hand too. Just everything we're seeing here is very, very nicely executed. Next up, ooh man, this one is crazy affordable. This is the Swift, the 125L. It is coming in at $18 right now. Blade is a little bit over 3 inches long. You've got the folded steel frame and thin G10 scales. This is a red and white version, so peppermint flavored. Hey, 'tis the season for peppermint after all. Also available is a black and white version. So, you know, licorice, anise flavored. It's for the holidays, right? Y'all are no fun anyway. Blade is nice and thin, full flat ground. We've got a liner lock for security. Single position pocket clip. Pretty deep carry though. It's even nestled in to the G10 with a flush head screw to make it nice and accommodating. Single opening method here. The flipper tab at the back. Just a nice peppermint flavored executive style knife for very little money, 18 bucks. 12C27 is the steel. Does not hold an edge as long as the 14C28N we talked about earlier, but it is a little bit tougher even and still sharpens really, really easily too. 18 bucks, man, that's crazy. Next up, and finally from SRM, the Palfrey flipper. 3¼ inch, 14C, 28N blade, $35 right here. This is the all blacked out version. There are a handful of flavors available right now. You've got G10 on the front, a stainless steel frame lock on the back, and a wire pocket clip, which is reversible in this case, even though it is a right-hand facing lock. 2 deployment methods. We have a front flipper, which I have quit doing because I don't want to anymore. We have a standard flipper as well, which that works. You know what? I'm going to give the front flipper a try only because it wraps around the top, which makes it almost a bit of a top flipper. And I have, less of a personal grudge against those. As you can see, it worked pretty darn well. Again, thin enough, full flat grind, great usable shape, and great quality across the board for all these SRM knives. Let me know what your favorites of the lineup today were down below. Let me know what you're interested in. Let me know if there's something you're looking forward to seeing as well. Drop it in the comments. And to get your hands on any of these, of course, check out the links in the description, which will take you over to the website. While you're over there, don't forget about our long-running Knife Rewards program or our Sezzle payment options at checkout so you can break payments up into some more affordable chunks if you wish. That's all for now. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center. That's Thomas behind the camera, and we're signing off. See you next time.
Hey, everything works today.
You don't know that yet.